What is 3D mandala art? Well, it's this. For the longest time, I've always thought, what do you do with all these cardboard boxes that you get from your Amazon.com shipments? And so I've got all these boxes sitting here. Usually they'll stack up near the garage door, and then I end up just collapsing them and putting them in the recycle bin and off they go, which is fine, but I wondered if there was something I could actually make with them. And that's when it occurred to me. I've got this laser cutter, I've got all this scrap cardboard. Could I do the mandala art with the cardboard? Now, I discovered this process not long ago when I got a new Snapmaker 2.0. If you're not familiar with it, it's a 3-in-1 machine that does 3D printing, laser engraving, and CNC milling all in one device. You just swap out the heads, and then you can use the large bed here on the A350 to cut out whatever you want, or to print whatever you want, or to engrave whatever you want. So the process looks like this. You head over to a website where you can download the digital files. I happen to use Etsy.com for a lot of the files that I found. Found some after doing searches for things like laser cut files or CNC files, digital files for laser cutting, things like that. And I found all kinds of really cool stuff. Once you've found the files that you're looking for, it's just a matter of getting them prepared to be cut out. Sometimes they're already prepared and each layer is on its own file that you can just bring right into your cutting software. And other times you may have to open up a vector software like Inkscape or Adobe Illustrator and prepare them just by cutting them up and separating them out into different files. From there, I used the software included with the Snapmaker called Snapmaker Lubon and got each file prepared and cut them out one at a time. Now sometimes when you're doing a smaller project like this letter A here, it's small enough that I was actually able to cut out all 6 layers at the same time by putting them all on one file and then having the laser engrave and cut each one of them out all in one go. Now for the cardboard, I just glued them together with regular Elmer's school glue, and that worked out just great. I even cut out a little frame out of cardboard to go around it. It also kind of shows that, on the back, this is just an Amazon box. These are Walmart boxes around the outside here. I actually kind of like the fact that these outsides and back show off the fact that these are just regular shipping boxes that would have gone into the recycle bin. After doing a few of these pieces with the cardboard, which essentially cost me nothing, I was ready to try this out with some plywood. Now for this, I wanted to use some slightly thicker pieces, so I decided to CNC these out. Now in my case, these were pretty simple cuts. All I was going to do is have it cut all the way through and get rid of everything on there, and then I would do that layer after layer after layer, and then glue those together in that same way. Now one of my favorite aspects about artwork like this is that the lighting changes everything on it. You can look in and take a really close look at the incredible details that you can get out of these sorts of things, but it's even more impressive when the light is shifting or changing throughout the day. Now as a guy who does a lot of DIY stuff around the house, I often find myself over my head in uncharted territory where I'm not quite sure how something works or how it's supposed to happen or how to tackle a problem. So that's why I've teamed up with Fixer.com, where they actually have professional tradespeople, people who really know their stuff and have done this before and can help you with whatever the project is that you're working on. You can actually hop on a video chat with them and have them walk you through the process. They can help you troubleshoot existing problems that you have or walk you through a new process for a new project that you're working on. Head on over to Fixer.com/learn-to-DIY to save $10 on your video consultation with a specialist. Now one really cool thing about working with the Snapmaker is that you have your choices. If you want to cut something out like with the laser cutter here, you can do it that way. You can do paper, cardboard, thinner plywood, acrylics, all kinds of cool stuff. Or you can CNC it out if it's a little bit thicker or if that's the look you're going for. In addition, you can swap out and then 3D print whatever you want. I 3D printed this Tesla Cybertruck, for example, completely on the Snapmaker with different types of materials, flexible materials, stiffer materials, and then everything else that I've done here all on one machine, which is super cool. So I'll put a link in the description to the Snapmaker if you want to check that out. I'll also put a link to the pages where I bought the different files, which you can get your hands on as well, and start playing around and see what you can make as far as 3D mandala art is concerned. Now in case you're wondering, yes, it is possible to do this without a laser cutter and without a CNC machine. You kind of have to do it at a larger scale. Not so long ago I created what I call the ocean desk, where I used the same concept. I stacked layers of plywood on top of each other after cutting them out and making them smaller and smaller as the layers went up. I then filled that all in with plexiglass, painted the whole thing, and used it as a standing desk. You can check that video out right here if you want to learn more about how that's done. Also, feel free to check out some of the other videos on my channel where you can learn all kinds of fixes, repairs, upgrades, and different projects for around the house and around the yard, all things that you can learn to DIY.